Okay, so today I'm going to talk about WhatNot. I want to show you some behind the scenes stuff, but I can't. We're not allowed to. That's with any platform. You're not really supposed to share like screenshots and stuff of what it looks like behind the scenes. So not going to do that. I don't want to get kicked off the platform and lose my job or my income. So won't be doing that. However, it is pretty cool. It is pretty bloody cool. It's very easy to set up. When you're doing a live, all you have to do is set up the actual live itself. It doesn't take long. You have to put a title, a category, whether it's singles or a break or a dip box or whatever. If you're doing mystery stuff, at the time of recording, the 10th of May, you have to put the floor, ceiling and average. And I think you have to put things in the show notes about what there is to win and that stuff. I don't do any of that, so I don't really know, but it's quite easy. Then what you do when you can go live, you add a thumbnail, right? So now this thumbnail is like a little movie poster of what to expect in the show today. I always try and put information in the show title because people will get a text to say Sam's live. If it just says Monday with Sam, why would I click that? I always try and put stuff in like Japanese, English, stickers, packs and vintage or I don't know, Paldean Fate singles or whatever it might be. I try and think what would make me click that, and I'm working on that, man. I'm not that great at the titles. We get a lot of people in, so maybe I am. Either way, need to do a bit more of an audit on that. So then your live stream set up, you set a date whenever you think it's going to be, and you go live. Like, it's really easy to do. They have a really good onboarding process as well, where mine was 1-to-1, but it might be a group. I think most people have group. I don't know. It's either a group or a 1-to-1. I guess depends on their calendar, I suppose. But what they will do, they'll talk you through the whole platform. So you sign up as a seller. Same thing with TikTok, actually. I think you have to show them what stock you've got. So if you're just like, I cannot wait to sell this one card, and they're like, yeah, but okay, but yeah, what else have you got? And you're like, no, I just want to. They're not going to let you on. They want people that are going to be buying, selling. Now, this may change again. They might be like, nah, everybody come in. It's like eBay. Just if you've got one thing to sell, sell it. But when I joined, it was, we've got an influx of people. Slow down. What have you got? We're going to accept. And that might just be a feeling they give you to make you feel like, yeah, they select. Maybe. It might be a marketing thing. I don't know. But either way, if they ask you to see what you've got, don't think, oh no, I need to buy 1 million things. Just submit a thing. You can resubmit it. Just say, is this all right? And they'll just be like, no. Or yeah, like, just ask. Or if you've got a lot of stuff, put as much in the picture as you can. Like, just be like, all of this. Oh, which way am I? I'm on that side. All of this. And they'll be like, yeah, cool, all right. That's fine. But don't shy away from, I don't have that much. Well, I'm not a... Don't let the imposter syndrome side of things let you lose on that. Like, you should be selling everywhere, so WhatNot's a great place for it. If you can get through that, which is just an email, I think, then you're in. And WhatNot is fantastic. I've sold more on WhatNot than I ever have on VOT and TikTok before. A lot more. The scalability is fantastic. There's a lot of people on there. It changes a lot regularly, so this is why I wanted to set this course up as well, because I feel changes, because I'm live 2-3 times a day. I feel that I can feel changes coming and going pretty quickly. I'm not saying that if I don't sell any singles for 2 streams, that's it, we shut the account down. Obviously not, but things like dip boxes and games and all that sort of stuff. We started with games. Or when I did it myself, I started with games and Monopoly and all this sort of stuff to make it a bit more entertaining and fun. Deal or no deal and all this sort of stuff. And within, I'd say a couple of weeks of doing it, I was like, man, these games people are getting a bit ratty with it. Like they're pulling back, like en masse, right? They're sort of pulling back. And then a couple of weeks later, WhatNot put in loads of stringent things, which they should have done, and rightly so. And then we moved over to like dipbox stuff, and that started to get a bit salty. A lot of people were like faking the stuff, and it was just all a bit like, meh. So And then loads more things came in. So I feel like when I'm streaming a lot, and I would recommend it to anybody, be aware of what you think is happening over a week's period. Did anything change this week? Document like your stats and stuff. Has anything changed? Is every Monday evening the same, or is it on a downward trend now? It's not just because it's payday soon. Is it, let's do it over 3 months? Is it always going? Is it going down, or is it just first 2 weeks and then up and then the last 2 weeks and whatever? Like, I always try and keep some stats, and we'll do the numbers in another part of the course of how to follow along with that. But WhatNot is really, really good. I think the cool thing with WhatNot as well is it does offer you quite a bit of stats, so you can look in the back end and you can see what how many people came into your live, if that's above average, how many sales you made, how many new people came in, all that sort of stuff I find really interesting. How many hours you were live, how many concurrent viewers, like the most amount of viewers at one point was on that live. And you can sort of flick back through. Oh, excuse me. I think with WhatNot as well, it's a really good platform if you're looking to do new stuff as well. So let's say you've always done Japanese Pokemon cards and you just want to try clothing. Crack on, go in the clothing thing. You might need 10 lives to get your name out there, and don't expect the same success overnight as you've got in there, because nobody knows who you are. So you kind of have to start again. And I get quite excited by that. I've done that with Disney and sports. I wasn't well received in sports. We're going to try it again over a longer period. But Disney absolutely went booming. It was crazy. Thousands of packs. Like, it was really, really good. So you just got to find your things, even with your own niche, right? So let's say you're Pokemon like me. We tried games. They're not allowed anymore anyway, so that's fine. Then we tried dip boxes. They sort of went off a bit. Then we tried packs. They went really well. They don't anymore. And then we go into singles. Singles working really well, and things change. Like, it's forever updating, changing, and I think it's quite exciting that it kind of moves like the tide, right? Like, things come and go, and if you're like, well, I'll only sell packs for the rest of my life, you're going to struggle, because when packs don't sell, you need to look for something else that will, otherwise you're going to struggle. And just having a lot of something doesn't mean it should sell. Like, there's loads of self-awareness things, Market Square test. We're going to do this all in the audit, but as a platform for WhatNot, the amount of people that they're advertising loads on the App Store. They're one of the top 15, something like that. When I was working at VOT, we saw the figures. They were like one of the top 15 in the world at how much they spend on adverts. It's massive. Okay, UK smaller than US, but it's massive. So the potential to get people in, it's not necessarily you and people like Sam instead of me. It's not necessarily that. It's what is that person offering, as in speedy singles. Like, everything's coming every 5 seconds. There's a chance that it keeps you interested. Or, we're doing a rip to your hip. Who's going to get the most? Or it's what's in it for me is what they need to understand. If they don't know what's in it for them on any platform, they're not going to know. So on WhatNot, it keeps you on your toes, because it is changing quite quickly. Every 3 months or something fairly drastic seems to happen. And that's what this group's here for, so that we can help you with that. I'm not going to give you any insight into what sells better or not on here at the minute, on this video, because I just want to talk about the platform itself. It's really easy to put all your labels out as well. When you finished your live, you go to your shipments. There's a button on the right hand side that says generate all labels. You press that, it generates all your labels in about 10 seconds. Depends how many you've got. And then email all labels to yourself. You get an email, you go to the email, you press labels, it brings up a PDF, press print, and your 3D printer, your label printer just absolutely spams them out, and then you rip them all off and you give them to everybody. So it's a really easy way to do that on the label side of things. Everything's through Every, same as TikTok, and it's just an easy thing to use. I would say it's very easy. You can set up private lives as well if you want to do a live for your Discord or whatever, or you just want to practice, right? You probably just want to practice a couple. You just go live and go, okay, right, so let's pretend there's somebody here. oh yeah, this is a nice pack. Yeah, so that camera looks good. Oh, what about this? Oh yeah, camera looks good, or whatever, right? You can just muck around with it, but and you can send people the link to that. So if you've got a friend that you just want to tune in and go, oh Dave, what do you reckon to this? Do you reckon I should have this here? And do you reckon I should have this here? Is this too close? Is this? Can you hear me? You can do all that away from being live, so that you can get the use. I didn't do that. I didn't bother. And I wouldn't overthink it and do it too much. I'd possibly do it to see what it looks like, and how to run a product and stuff. But I don't know. I don't think I'd practice lives to do it. But some people may find that useful. There's also it's quite easy to add products on the fly. I try not to even now because it distracts from the live. Like, people are there to be entertained, not to hear you typing things out and whatever. So I get annoyed with myself when I do it. I do it on giveaways all the time. I'm like, right, page 9 giveaway. Let's type that out. And I'm always talking, right? Page 9 giveaway. We're going to do that. Yeah, that's all typed in. Okay, that's on. Okay, right, let's go. Let's run that giveaway. So try and keep it to a minimum if you can. But it is really good if you're selling something and I don't know, you're selling 1 pack at a time and somebody goes, how many have you got? Oh, I've got 2 or whatever. You go, all right, let me just update that or add a product line for you. I'll just quickly add it. Here you go, 2 packs, off we go. I'll run it. Cool, thank you, done. It's really good because you can force the sales. With TikTok, you're waiting for sales to come in and you can't do anything about it. You can talk about it, but you can't force a sale. With WhatNot, if you run an auction, even on a buy it now product, if you run an auction, it can generate a sale, which is why I do the 5-second sales. Even if people aren't buying stuff, I'm like 5 seconds, 5 seconds, 5 seconds, 5 seconds. Just keep moving it, man. I don't know if I would recommend everybody doing 5 seconds. It's just the vibe I've got and whatever. But try it if you can. If it works, then great. Don't do it though just because I do it, because you'll probably end up losing money like we do a lot of the time. So whatever, find your vibe, right? So it's really good because you can force their hand into buying something. Obviously, you can't make them buy it, but you can make them go, oh, hold on, something's running. Oh, what's that? Let's just have a bit of that. Let's have a bit of that. If you're just talking about it all the time but not running something, that's the power of WhatNot. You can temporarily force them to take an action, and it's so effective, which stands out above all other platforms. eBay, right? You're just waiting for it to run out. Whereas WhatNot, you can go, hey, here's my product, it's running, and it's there to buy. I find that incredibly helpful and really useful. So hope that does help. Looking forward to seeing how you get on with WhatNot. If you've got any questions, obviously stick them below.